review some information you guys already know about angles in degree measure, but we'll be using it this trig chapter, so wanted to start with a review. A reference angle, that is the angle measurement from the x-axis. So here we have those 4 different quadrants. So for example, if this angle measurement was 40 degrees, your reference would be 40 degrees. It's 40 degrees from your x-axis. However, we measure our angle starting from the positive x-axis. So here's our angle. If this was 130 degrees, our reference angle would be that distance to the x-axis, or 50 degrees. If it was in the third quadrant, again, we start with the x-axis, rotate around. So if this is 20 degrees, the distance here from the x-axis, well, this is 220 and 180, so our reference angle would be 40 degrees. And in this third quadrant, let's say all the way around here, this is 300 degrees. The distance to the x-axis, our reference angle would be 60. So when we have to find these, the first thing I usually like to do is graph them. Well, our angle of 132. So our reference angle is right here. Well, 180 minus 132. So our reference angle would be 48 degrees. 367. Well, this is a full circle, so let's make it within one rotation. So it's really 7 degrees. Well, 7 degrees is in this first quadrant, so our reference angle is 7 degrees. Negative 139. Well, let's see, we're going counterclockwise, so this is negative 90. So negative 139 would be going this way. So we need to know that distance to the x-axis. Well, 180 minus 139. So our reference angle is 41 degrees. And then 360. Well, I'm going to subtract 360 again. So we have 355, so 355 would be in this quadrant. So if this is 355 and here's 360, our reference angle would be 5 degrees. Now what we were just doing on that last problem was something called a coterminal angle. Two angles in standard position, so just meaning they start along the x-axis, positive x-axis, with the same ending side. So we can get that by adding or subtracting 360. You're going to end up with a coterminal angle. So find the reference angle, identify one coterminal angle and one negative coterminal angle. Well, 330 would be down in this quadrant, so our reference angle would be 30 degrees. So positive coterminal and negative. Well, 30 degrees would be a positive coterminal. Well, let's subtract 360. Well, negative 30 degrees. Oh, excuse me, this isn't coterminal. This is our reference. Because 30 degrees is actually up here. Coterminal exact same spot, so that would be negative 330. Or if we take 330 and we add 360, we end up with 690. So sorry about that. So there is a difference here between reference and coterminal. These two are the coterminal because they end up in the same spot. So 225, let's see. Here's 225. That's not 225. Let's